Oh, yeah! You know what time it is. That's right, it's time for the Eddie and Webby Podcast! Yo, I'ma bust out some theme song action for you. Check it out. The Eddie and Webby Show is fun for all. We drink craft beer and mostly talk about pickleball. So if you didn't know, now you know. 'Cause it's time for the Eddie and Webby Show.
On today's episode, Eddie and Webby share their best gardening secrets. This is the Eddie and Webby Podcast.
Oh, hey, how's it going? This is Webby, not Eddie.
And I'm Eddie, and this is our 87th podcast.
Oh, yeah, episode number 87.
I cannot believe we're at 87. It seems like only yesterday we were at 86, but that was 2 weeks ago, actually.
Yeah, it's hard to believe. I cannot believe it, but here we are, episode 87. It's crazy.
Crazy! You know what else is crazy?
What's that?
The guest we're going to have on tonight. I'm super excited to be able to talk with him. We're going to be bringing him on shortly. But guys, I do want to remind you that we are live. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. And I'm going to do it, Webby. For the 7 people that care tonight, we are live on Twitch. And this show is meant to be interactive. So if you have any comments or questions for us, but more likely for the guests we're going to have, definitely put them in the comments. And Webby will be helping you get your comments over to the right person, right, Webby?
That's right. Through the magic of the internet, your comments might even show up on the screen, and it's going to be wild. Like the technology we have on the show is pretty epic.
What's the internet? That sounds fascinating.
Imagine the world where there's this wide web of knowledge, and we can share that with you anywhere around the world.
Yes. I love it. You know what else I love is Twitter comments. And Webby, I want to know, the world wants to know, what in the heck is going on in Twitter?
Oh, man. The world of Twitter, it just gets crazy and crazier and crazier every week, and this is no exception. I'm going to pull Twitter up here and see what we got going on the Twitter sphere here. Here is a tweet from a.a. Jabrams. The Sick Tricks panel episode of the Eddie and Webby podcast was very fun. Please do more group panel episodes like that. Well, thank you, A.A. Jabrams. Yeah, I thought that was super fun, having the whole Sick Tricks crew with us. That was very fun. I think we will do more group panels. I'm not going to lie, they're a little more stressful than usual, just because like when you have a whole bunch of people, sometimes it's tough to make it to where not everybody's talking at the same time, but I thought it was a blast. It was super fun, so we will definitely do more of those in the future. That is for sure. Let's do another Twitter comment here. Here's one from Jordan Ramsey. At Eddie and Webby, why in the world did Webby do a cooking video? It's obvious he doesn't know what he's doing in the kitchen, and his finished product looked horrible. Well, thanks for the feedback, Jordan. Very nice of you. But yeah, I really don't know why I did a cooking video. Just one day I got in the urge. I was at home. We had just gotten a new air fryer, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fry some pickle chips, and I'm gonna record the whole thing and make a cooking video.
Why
and
not?
I did
it's fun. Yeah, I thought it was cool.
I had fun with it. So, I mean, if people like it enough, maybe I'll do more. Who knows? Maybe it was a one and done kind of thing, but we'll see. But yeah, thanks for the comment, Jordan. We like all feedback here. Let's do one more tweet. Here's one from Howie Manuel. Eddie and Webby, I see that you will be co-hosting the Beer City Open this year, whatever that means. Will you guys also be competing in the tournament? Yeah, as a matter of fact, not only will we be co-hosting along with Andrea Coop, but we will be competing in the tournament. Eddie and I will be together again in person and competing together as a team in men's doubles. We're each doing mixed doubles. And then did you decide, are you doing singles?
Of course I'm doing singles, man, because I ain't no wuss, son.
I would be doing singles because I absolutely love singles lately, but I hate the heat. And in the summer of, like in Michigan in the summer, you never know. It could be high 90s. I don't handle the heat very well. So singles is a little much to ask from me. I'm not afraid to admit it. But that's it for the Twitter sphere. Thank you, everybody.
We appreciate all of your Twitter comments. Thank you so much for doing that. I also did want to let you guys know that we are not going to be doing Dinking Around tonight after the show. So it's just the podcast. But we will do Dinking Around in the near future. So I want to bring on the guest. But before I do, as you guys know, Webby and I, we like to wet our palates a little bit. So Webby, what are you going to be enjoying this evening during the show?
Well, tonight I will be enjoying a beer from our good friends at New Belgium Brewing, and this is called Higher Plane IPA. And I had this for the first time a few episodes ago, and I really enjoyed it. So I will be enjoying it throughout tonight's episode.
Very nice.
What about
I
you?
also am going to be drinking a New Belgium beer. This is called Dominga, and it is a Mimosa Sour. I have not had this one yet. New Belgium did just send this to me recently, and it's a Mimosa Sour. It says from sun up to sundown. As you know, Webby, I love my sour beers, so I am excited to experience this throughout the evening.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have had that one, and I enjoyed it. I actually drank it during the episode that Mark Renison was on, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So I think you will too. But cheers.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we want to thank New Belgium again for providing us the beer. And also, guys, we love to support companies that support pickleball. New Belgium is one of the only craft beer companies that, has a nationwide presence that is investing in pickleball. So I highly recommend, if you see them, grab for that New Belgium beer, support those companies that support pickleball. Right, Webby?
Yeah, exactly right. We love to support those that support pickleball, and they have plenty of different styles to choose from. So I'm sure they have something that you will like if you are a craft beer lover. So definitely check them out.
That's right. Well, I'm excited to be able to introduce our guest tonight. Our guest tonight has made his presence well known in the pickleball world. He's an intense player on the court, and you can often find himself coaching himself, I guess you could say, in a language that I'm not familiar with. It seems hard for me to make it out. He also seems to have a problem where he doesn't like a sleeve covering the right part of his arm for some reason. But that's right. Please welcome to the show, Patrick Smith. What's going on, man? How are you?
Good. How you guys?
Doing great, man. We're so excited to have you on. We've been wanting to try and get you on here for a while, and you have a pretty crazy schedule because in addition to playing pickleball professionally, you also work quite a bit of hours outside of that as well, right?
Yeah, I have a full-time job. This pickleball is, uh, as of now, more of a hobby, I guess. But yeah, I do have a full-time job that demands a lot of time, I
Yeah.
guess.
What is it
But it's
that you
fine.
do outside of pickleball?
I run a company that does. I work in the medical field. And I run a company that does hair transplants with a surgical robot. So a robot comes in, takes the follicles in the back of your head, and then they get placed in the areas where guys are thinning, or ladies.
That's pretty cool, man. How long have you been in this field for?
Um, 4.5 years maybe,
Okay.
roughly. Right after about a year after I moved to Wichita, we started this company with the guy that was my boss that I moved to Wichita for in the first place for a job, and also in the medical field. And then yeah, just I don't know. I think they had too much wine one night and said, "Well, let's do this." But that's how it feels sometimes in this. So yeah, it would be easy if the patients were all women. Honestly, guys are a pain in the rear end as
Really?
patients.
Why? Tell me
Oh,
why.
big
Like, what's?
babies.
Yeah.
The bigger they are, the louder they yell and the more they cry. And
Like
it doesn't
during the
hurt,
actual
honestly. I
procedure?
mean, yeah, the procedure doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
I had it done personally, so the anesthesia is no fun, but it's like going to the dentist and getting a shot, essentially. Everything else you don't feel.
That's crazy. That's pretty cool though. So what is it about that process that might be different about what you guys do versus other hair transplant companies or anything like that?
Ours is more technology driven, so it's it's a surgical robot. It's just way more precise. Doesn't get tired, so the accuracy is there. Um, if you can tell me that the best pitcher in the Major League Baseball can throw 2,000 strikes without in a row without getting tired, I'm going to call BS on you every time. So
Right.
kind of the same analogy there. You know, the surgeon might have an off day, can get tired, just human nature, and the robot doesn't get tired. You might have to reset the internet every now and then, but that's about it, if
Right.
even.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
By the way, I'm jealous about the beers. I would love to have a beer, but I'm
But I know
not
you
sure
get,
if I would drink those beers.
now what if you were going to have a beer tonight, which I know you got mixed doubles tomorrow, but if you were going to have a beer tonight, what would you have?
It'd be a lager for sure. I mean, I grew up in Germany; it's no secret. So
Right.
we're a bit of beer snobs, and I'm not a big IPA fan. They're a little funky, I would say, in my mind.
Well, I mean,
Not
a
clean.
lager to an IPA is like, two very different, taste profiles on the beer spectrum. So I could understand where if you've associated in your head, like a nice Märzen or Oktoberfest or a Dunkel, or even just like a German lager to an IPA, that would be like thinking you were taking a drink of water and it would be milk. It's just totally different. It would surprise you.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah, IPA is not my choice, even though Irina keeps trying to get me to have a few at some point, and I have been refusing, and I continue to refuse her
Refuse. Yep.
request.
What I'm a huge fan of German lagers. I've brewed a bunch of my own, and I've drank a ton of different styles. What is your favorite German beer?
Oh, it's Augustiner.
Yeah.
It's a lager. It's brewed the same way. It's a monastery just outside of Munich or in Munich, and it's brewed the same way since I want to say 13. Oh boy, I'm going to butcher that. 1300s,
Sure.
and yeah, it's pretty darn good. Not gonna lie. Every time somebody comes to visit me in the US or I go home, I either they bring some with them. That's my request. That's the rent they pay to come visit me, or I bring a bunch back.
You,
I'd have
you
to hide
can't.
them, otherwise everybody else drinks them in my house. I literally cannot have them out or in the fridge because people just drink them. They fall in love with them.
Where can you not get them in the States at all?
I found one liquor store in Denver, randomly, and it blew my mind they didn't even have it. But even there, it didn't really taste it the same.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
but it was still pretty darn good. I still drank them all and quickly.
That's cool. I'll have to see if I can find that somewhere down the road. But yeah, I love German styles of beer. I got Webby hooked on, what was it? Hofbrau Dunkel. Remember that, Webby?
Hmm.
Oh yeah, that was really good. I
That's
loved
a
that
good one.
one.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. The
But that's more.
Spaten.
That's a Weiss beer.
What's it? Well, they have the Dunkel Weiss, but then just the regular Dunkel is just the regular German Dunkel style. But then another one of my favorites is the Spaten Optimator, which is
Oh, that's a strong one.
yeah, those ones will knock you on your ass pretty quick, but delicious. That's another one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Very nice.
they optimate every brewery in Munich has their like Spartan has the Optimator, then
Mhm.
there's the Maximator and all these things from all these other breweries, and they only brew them. I think it's for Carnival.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I guess they've gotten popular now, so you can get them anytime almost.
I can find usually that one, Spaten Optimator. What's the other? It ends in ATOR. I remember that because that's kind of like the German thing for that style of beer. There's another one that I can't remember what it was, but anyway, enough about German styles of beer. Webby, what's going on? Any good comments coming in already?
There already are a couple good ones, but before we get to them, I do want to bring something up. If I'm not mistaken, Pat, you actually have a prize that we can offer somebody that's tuning in live tonight. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, we're going to give away one of these Neptune Athletic uh, pickleball shirts. It's a pretty
Nice.
cool thing they just created. I was talking with Neptune, my new clothing sponsor, and asked them to make a pickleball shirt specifically, and actually lend itself because their trident, their symbol, works out well to be an E in pickleball. So, yeah, so
Nice.
very
I
comfortable,
like that.
very, very
Very
comfortable
nice.
material,
Yeah, that's pretty
and it
slick.
gets
I
us
like the
blue.
look of that. So you may be asking yourselves, how can you be eligible to win this T-shirt? Well, what we're going to do is at the end of the episode, I am going to pick my favorite question of the day.
Ooh.
And whoever submitted the question that I think was my favorite of the night, you're going to be going home with that t-shirt. And we already have a couple people that are eligible. This first one comes from somebody that goes by the name of Hannah Johns. And she
Oh,
wants to
Lord have
know,
mercy.
ask Pat if he ever enjoys shots of tequila.
No, I hate him. There's a reason why it's called tequila. No, that's a bad idea. Tequila. That and Jaeger. No,
Okay.
I do enjoy my occasional shot. Problem with shots is, they never come. They always come in pairs of, or multiple pairs. You never drink just one. It always ends up another one, and at some point you just forget how many you had. But definitely not tequila. No.
All right. And then I'm just going to ask
My
one more
God.
question here. For now, this person is also eligible to win the shirt if I pick this one as my favorite. And this one comes from Renee. I'm just going to leave it at Renee because I know I'm going to butcher the last name. But Renee wants to know. It's a long one, so I got to pull it up on Facebook real quick here. Pat is one of my favorite professional pickleballers. I had the privilege of meeting him and Jay a couple of years ago. Does he have any advice for someone who is just starting with pickleball?
Um, I remember Renee. We met her in Nebraska a couple of times. And when Justin and I first started playing, her and her husband. I think we actually played her husband, if I remember correct. A great couple, super nice guys. Uh, you know, don't forget to have fun. I know this, when I started playing the sport, it was really frustrating, especially when you have a tennis background or something. These paddles are dead, the ball's dead. You don't, there's no compression, there's no strings. Don't forget to have fun. That's the beauty of this game because anybody can pick up a paddle and play because it doesn't require the physical attributes or skills right off the bat than it would for tennis, right? If you pick up a tennis racket for the first time, that ball's going to fly over the fence. Probably 9 out of 10 times, I'll guarantee that. With pickleball, because it's because of the holes and it's a plastic ball, it's you have to. I mean, it's very difficult to hit it over the fence right off the bat. Um, yeah, and just enjoy it. Go out with some friends and play around. And the great thing is, it's a bit of a social game too. So like chicken and pickle, for example. I mean, go out there, enjoy a nice cold one. I'm sure you guys enjoy that all the time anyway. So yeah, and play some pickleball.
Great advice. Is that kind of what drew you into the sport initially? Maybe talk about how you found pickleball and how it kind of became as big of a passion as it is for you.
Well, I would say I don't know if I found pickleball. Jocelyn found me, and he kept bugging me forever. When Chicken and Pickle in Wichita opened up, he was in charge of all the pickleball side of it, and we've been friends forever, really close friends forever, and he kept asking me to play this competitive league. He needed a few more bodies to fill up the league, the first league, which is like almost 2 years ago. Yeah, no, 2 years ago, almost exact actually. And I said no, no, I'm not interested. I don't want to play an old guy sport. Leave me alone. For about 3 months, he kept asking me, and then eventually I said, as a friend, if you really need somebody, I'll do it for a friend. I'll do you as a favor. But another reason, because of my work, I didn't know if I can. It's 8 weeks, so I didn't know if I can take that much time off, or if I be there every, not take time off, if I can be there every Wednesday night, which is what it was for me because of my travel schedule. So um, it worked out fine. And then once I started playing, yeah, I kind of caught the bug, and then after the first league session, he asked if he wanted to play some tournaments, and I said, sure, let's play some. How many? And he goes, well, at least 10. I was like, I looked at him funny. I was like, 10? Are you joking? How about we start with one? I have a real job. I don't know if we can do this. And now we're here, playing almost every other weekend. Um, Took off, enjoying the competition, missed the competition from tennis, and that's what I love the most about it, is the being out there and competing, especially having the privilege to compete with a really close friend of yours, and share some laughs and I guess yells, which
Yeah.
we do both on the court pretty well.
Yeah.
So
You guys are known for that a little bit. That's cool.
If you can't be the best, yet, you might as well be the loudest right off the bat.
Right. Yeah. I like to go for
But
that
that's a
approach
yet.
too. Yeah. You can't be the best. You gotta be the best at something. And if it's yelling, or in my case, just looking the best out there, that's usually what I go for.
Very true. Justin tries to still not working.
so talk about, obviously you said you had a competitive tennis career. What does your tennis background look like?
No, I came to the US like 16 years ago and on a full Division One tennis scholarship and did that. Um, then I did my MBA. Played some tournaments afterwards. I had a little bit of injury issues with torn ligaments, which apparently keep following me around in pickleball now too. From Hilton Head last
Yep.
year. But it's um, I just went. After that, I was like, well, I might as well finish my MBA and see where it goes. And also, at that time, it kind of graduated around the financial crisis right after that. So it was a smart thing to stay in school and get my MBA in that regard. But I would have, loved to have played more. Um, and then I just went in to go work instead. I had to grow up at some point, which I'm still reluctant to do. I'm still fighting it for the last 10 years or
Fight
more.
it. Keep fighting it as long
Yeah,
as you can, right?
I'm gonna keep fighting. I promise you. I'm never gonna try and grow up fully.
That's cool, man. So have you talked about the fun factor. Have you ever had as much fun competing in tennis as you have competing in pickleball?
The most fun I had in tennis was the camaraderie, with your teammates. Honestly, and that was the most fun. Just the overall around. I mean, I enjoyed being out there. I enjoyed the challenge. I enjoyed the bit of a chess game that's out there. That's what I like about pickleball too. And it's and just trying to figure it out. What does it take against on certain days and certain conditions against certain teams or players. Um, and I like to be out there competing with somebody, that I enjoy being around and kick some butt. So yeah, we I enjoy the. I have to say though, I do enjoy the pickleball tournaments more, and a
Yeah.
lot of it has to do with who you actually play with, or against. Everybody's generally a pretty cool people. You leave it all out. You leave it all out in the court, and you can enjoy a couple of beers afterwards. But on the court, you want to kick that person's butt across the net from you.
Yeah, it's always a cool
So
dynamic to
yeah, I
see
love that.
to see that kind of, obviously most of the pros. What what are you doing down there, Jay?
He's on his knees. What can I say? Welcome to my life on a pickleball tournament.
Yep. Oh boy. Camera down. All right.
Yeah, he just.
That's hilarious. Yeah. So what I was saying is, obviously, I think it's great to be able to watch, from the pro players. I mean, most of you guys are all pretty good friends outside of like off the court, and you met each other through pickleball. But when it comes time to compete, obviously that friendship gets put to the side. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like it ever gets challenging with the close relationships that you have, or is it always, hey, when we're playing, it's business at that point?
No, I mean when you step on the court and the lights are on, then it's go time. That friendship gets put aside. Now it doesn't mean you're going to be you know an a-hole on the court.
Right.
I mean, you still want to try and be respectful and
Mm-hmm.
treat the other people as you want to be treated and be fair. Um, at least that's what I do. I try to do. How I was raised. So, but believe me, I'll be the first one to admit that I want to kick that person's butt, no matter who it is on the other side, and no matter whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And whoever we need to shoot. And apparently, we can do that pretty good these days too.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I love it. I enjoy it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I don't think I would be doing it if I didn't like it.
Well, right. I mean, that's the thing. I always say is, if tournaments stop being fun, I'm going to stop playing in them. And I've had a couple rough ones, and most of them have been good. But so far, they've stayed fun, so I'm going to keep doing it. But if they stop being fun, And I live that way with most of my life. Like if it's not fun, I don't want to do it. And so I think pickleball is like such a great avenue for a lot of people because it's fun, it's competitive, it's challenging, and I feel like it's kind of, gets everybody set up for success. So, do you have another guest coming in your room there?
No, it's just Rafa Hewitt.
Is it? Hey, Rafa.
How's it going?
What's going on?
They're saying hi. You can't hear him. My earbuds.
Yeah. That's
He's just
funny.
he's messing with Jocelyn in the rental car.
Oh,
I'm telling you, there's never a dull moment. There's never a dull moment with him.
Thanks for
I just saw him crawling on the floor.
Hey,
I love it.
He sounds good.
So you had mentioned that you had moved to the States, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. And then
wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. Well, you also had mentioned that you're from Munich, but I believe your accent, I wouldn't pick your accent as strictly somebody from Germany. So you had to have lived elsewhere while growing up. Is that true?
That is not true. No, I've only
No?
ever lived in Germany or the US. I did. My mother's German from Munich, and my dad is from New Zealand.
Okay.
So I grew up bilingual, and I picked up my English accent by speaking English with him at home in Germany.
Okay.
So yeah, that's where the accent comes from.
Okay. So it's a New
But
Zealand.
I have a New
can
Zealand
tell.
passport.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a New
Okay.
Zealand passport, and but I was born and raised in Munich, Germany, until I came to the US.
So you speak German and English, any other languages?
Yes, I speak both.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And then my French used to be a lot better than it is now. I haven't used it in a long time, but I can understand a lot more still than I can actually still speak. But tidbits here and there. Josh and I speak a little bit of French on the court.
I was gonna say, is that how you understand Jocelyn? Because nobody else can. So.
Well, I'm his translator. I'm a big brother translator. I'm telling you, my hair's turning gray, and it has nothing to do with my age or pickleball or anything else. It's strictly his French, him being French.
I love it.
I had to stop myself here from saying something that might have been inappropriate.
Let it out. Do it. We've had to censor plenty of these shows before, so
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of beeping.
Yeah. Webby, you got some good social media stuff going on?
Yep, getting some real good stuff coming in. And speaking of accents, we have a question here from Sarah Aiken. And Sarah says, since Pat's accent/voice is so similar to the Terminator, can he do an "I'll be back" soundbite?
I'll be back. That's
Yes.
my best thing I can do.
Nice.
I like it.
Very good. Very good. So here's a very deep question. This one comes from Jay.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Is he on there? What is he doing?
is.
He's just crawling on the ground. Now he's doing...
Right? He loves the attention, I guess. But he says, do you think if you were to stop drinking regularly, your game would improve?
Well, first of all, I don't drink that regularly, first of all. And usually just one at a time. That depends. If he is ever going to grow up and use his head on the court every now and then I might be giving up the occasional cold one. Now, I mean, I don't drink before tournaments or, I do enjoy, if I'm done with my competition events, I do enjoy getting a couple of beers in me, and enjoying a couple of the players, Rob Nunnery and, for example, Jeff, Joey, he's right there as well. And he loves his IPAs, that one too.
Yep.
So after that, yeah, but during or before, I generally don't. Or generally, I don't. Period. But I don't think until they pay us the big bucks, I don't think I'm going to give up beer. It's still a wiffle
Right.
ball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's
Yep.
right.
Still wiffle ball.
Nice. Well, thanks for the question, Jay. Here's a great question.
He
and this is
he cannot win that. He's not getting the shirt, by the way. Yeah, I'm going to refuse to give him that shirt if you pick that stupid question.
All right. Sorry, Jay. You have been disqualified. You are not eligible to win. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But this next question is actually the most frequent. We've gotten this question from a bunch of people, this was the first one to ask it. So this comes from Steve Smith, and he wants to know, please explain the one sleeve up while playing.
That goes back to my college tennis days. I growing up, I had a two-handed backhand, and then in my second college match, my sophomore year, I hit a backhand, and in like the first game of the match, and I tore a ligament in my left wrist. So I had to switch to one-handed backhand for the remainder of that year, which was a pain in the butt. It's like trying to play with left hand suddenly, because I'd never really, played with a one-handed backhand before that. And we had at the same year, our match shirts were, I mean, you're talking, 14 years ago. We had thick material, the polo shirts. They were just super heavy, and none of us liked them. So we all decided to play in our cotton. We'd rather play in cotton practice shirts than those shirts that we were given. But it was cotton, and I tend to sweat more than most, and it was just dragging on my arm. And it was more of a mental thing, honestly, than anything. So I just got used to it. And when I signed with Electrum, they didn't have sleeveless shirts yet. So I just rolled that sleeve up again, and stuck with it. The fact that people asking about the question is well worth me rolling up that sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I agree.
Yeah, I'm telling you, at least 6 different people have asked that question already. So that's people definitely wanted to know the history about that. So thanks for the question, Steve. I'll just read one more question for now from the crowd, and this is a spicy one. So get ready. This is from Kendaline Lewis, and Kendaline wants to know: do you think Ben will take it easy on you or harder on you now that you are dating his beautiful sister Hannah?
Absolutely not. What? No. Should we take it easy on him? I mean, I can turn that around now because we've had those two. We had the two John boys on the ropes a couple of times. The last 3 times we played them, I think, and we always find a way to screw it up somehow. And I wouldn't want him to take it easy anyway. If I want to, he's the best, and I want to beat the best, and I want him at his best. So,
do you think it was a good
idea? I would hope not.
Yeah. Do you think it was a good idea to hit Colin right in the junk, given the circumstances?
Absolutely. No, I'm kidding. No. I mean, first of all, that wasn't planned, as you probably could have told my reaction. I was actually more upset that I hit him rather than Ben or Jocelyn.
Mm-hmm.
Because on all 3, I would, he would be the last person I actually would want to hit if I did try to do it on purpose.
Right.
But boy, it was a beauty. I mean, it was about the cleanest shot I hit all week. And poor Colin just, as Ben put it so eloquently, just be better.
Yeah.
That's what he said to him on the court. Just be better. And no, I mean, no. I mean, he got me back. Not in the soft bits as they were called, or where it hurts the most. But but no, it definitely wasn't planned. But we did try to send a message right off the bat. So Josh and I see the funny story behind this whole thing is, as we are getting ready to get up off our chairs on court and start the first point, Jocelyn says to me, grabs my hand, and he goes, "Hey, I know you like those guys, and obviously, they're kind of your brother-in-laws now." And I'm like, "Oh God, where's this going?" I just told him to shut up, and he goes, "Hey, but don't be nice." He already said, "Don't be nice." And then after this happens, he grabs my arm again as I was trying to walk away, and he goes, "Man, I did not know you could be that mean." I said, "Well, I didn't intend to, but you asked me to not be nice, and we had to send a message." Unfortunately, it didn't help because we only won the first game. They must have been fine again, second and third game. But we got a good laugh from it.
Yeah. Well, you could tell that everybody out there was having a good laugh. Colin wasn't for a good 5 minutes or so, but I still think the look on Ben's face as it happened was just the typical brother to brother, banter that you get when that situation comes up. It was hilarious to see them like that.
Yeah, yes, for sure. But I hate to give Jocelyn any credit, but he's a funny guy. And
Yeah.
if you are across the net and something like this happens, and you have to listen to his stupid voice and his stupid comments, you're going to be dying laughing too. I'm not going to repeat what he said, but you can ask him if he comes on the show again.
Yeah,
I mean, the stuff that came out of his mouth was definitely very funny. So,
that's funny.
gotta get a step a little on Ben's side and saying, yes, there was part of it, I'm sure, brotherly love right there, but a lot of
Yeah,
it had to do with the smart ass comments that were coming across the net from us.
I like it. I do wish they had, mics that were at the kitchen that were picking up on a lot of the banter that goes on between the teams, because I bet you there's some classic stuff that happens there.
Oh, hey, absolutely. You should. I would hope I wish they would mic a match between Matt Wright and Jeff Warnick.
Yeah,
I would pay money to watch that or listen to that
we
because
should
Jeff's
do
a
a
very funny guy.
Oh yeah,
Jeff is a very funny guy, and yeah. So he has some good stuff. He has good material.
we'll have to see if we can't get that to happen at one of these tournaments coming up. Get some people mic'd up voluntarily. I think it'd be funny.
Yeah, we would do it, but you couldn't understand what the heck we're saying.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, we'd have to have a translator for you guys when you're up there. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But I would be up for it. I would do it in a heartbeat.
that's cool. Well, I think it's now time that we transition to our pros asking pros segment for the
Okay,
evening.
bring Jocelyn on. I know he's not gonna. It has to be Jocelyn in there.
Yes. Well, we did get a few questions from Jocelyn, and I'm going to go ahead and play the first one right now.
Hey guys, hey Pat. So here are my 3 questions for you. This is a payback from last time when I was on their show on Eddie's and Webby's. My first question is, who do you look up to the most? Beside me, obviously.
Besides him,
Is that a pickleball related question?
or I mean, you can pick pickleball or non-pickleball.
My parents.
Yeah.
My parents. And I'm pretty sure, knowing him, he probably thought about. You probably meant to be pickleball. I don't know. I don't know if you can call it look up or anything, but you got to give some of these guys a lot of credit. I mean, what Ben's done over the last year is just remarkable. I mean, he barely's lost, and yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty impressive. You
I think Pat's breaking up there a little bit. We'll let his internet connection recover here.
Especially with the pressure he don't is expected, and he keeps doing it. So hats off. Yeah, nope.
Oh, all right. I think
Can
you're
you hear
back.
me?
Yep, we're good now.
Yep.
We missed all that though. So if you want to tell us again about Ben and why you look up to him.
I don't look up to Ben. That's one thing. I commend him for. He's shorter than me, so I would be looking down first of
All
all.
right. Okay.
No, I'm kidding, but no, but I mean, it's absolutely remarkable, and you can't tip your hat more. What he's done, the amount of pressure he's facing I mean, I can only imagine he's expected to win every single one. The pressure he had to face at the US Open, knowing that if they lose one match, he can't get gold,
Right.
and he still won. I mean, the Triple Crown plus carrying Dan Gingrich, that old dude, to win 4. I mean, that is pretty solid and pretty damn annoying as well. But no, so what he's done for the game I mean, he's definitely taken the game to the next level. You know, um, I don't know. I've always looked up to my parents. My dad, he was a tennis player as well. So that's really who I look up to the most. My parents.
Okay.
And who are search for advice. And no, Jocelyn, it's definitely not you.
That's great. Well, that was question number 1 from Jocelyn. Here is question number 2.
My second question is, if someone were to have your phone, would you rather have them to see all your photos or all your text messages? I know this is a tough one for you.
Huh.
Interesting.
Honestly, I wouldn't care. There's nothing.
Yeah.
I have nothing to hide, really. So, um, I mean, if they want to read some of the messages between, for example, Jocelyn and I again, or a couple of my other friends, all you're gonna get is dumber by reading that because it's just total nonsense. I mean, if you go, feel free to fry some brain cells in that one. Um, yeah. And photos. I mean, it's a lot of my photos are all from pickleball these days, the last couple of
Yeah.
years, and then that's really it's all PG.
All right.
So yeah, doesn't matter to me actually. He wants to see my phone apparently, clearly.
Right. I was going to say, I think he just wants to go through your phone and see all the secret
No,
stuff.
no, he wants to. You know what he wants to do is we went to a tournament. One I was talking about earlier in Nebraska, somewhere. I think it was Grand Island, Nebraska, and him and I were with a host family, I think, or Airbnb. And I don't know, after the first day of men's, we had won that one, and out of nowhere, um, he starts. There's no music playing except in his head, and out of nowhere he starts stripping. I'm telling you, and I have a video of it. So he's probably saying that because he wants to get
Oh,
a hold
wow.
of my phone so he can delete that photo. Because yeah, but if you only knew, it's in the cloud already, Jocelyn. It's in the cloud, my friend.
So I see. So he was trying to do a little recon work to see if he could somehow get your phone to delete that from the permanent record.
Maybe. Yeah, I could see him do that.
That's funny. Hannah Johns put, wow, Jocelyn, where did you dig up these deep questions? LMAO. That's hilarious.
Yeah, he's he probably did it at the airport on his
Well,
way
he
to
did.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, I had to remind him.
Why doesn't it surprise me? Why doesn't
Yeah.
it surprise me?
Yep, I had to remind him, and he literally was. I think he was at the airport bar sending those to me. Which we have question number 3 from Jay right here.
And now my last question, and this one is related to pickleball. What is your best pickleball memories you had, whether it's with me or not with me? And what is the most embarrassing moment you had on a pickleball court? I have a good, I think I have a good idea about which one is the worst.
Ooh.
Yeah, 2-parter. So your best memory and then most embarrassing moment.
I mean, considering that I always play with him, he wants to hear some praises, I guess. um, um, best memory. The, the one of the most exciting. I I guess one of the. Oh, I know he's going with the other one. I'm still thinking about the second part. I know exactly what he's talking about. Oh, that little. Okay. Um,
You want to start with that one?
Oh, let's start with a bad one first.
All
So if okay, 2019, second to last Texas Open was our third tournament ever, and since we had just started playing pickleball, we always drew one of the top 4 seeds right off the bat. So in that one, we had an easy first round somewhat, and then the second round we had to play Matt Wright and Kyle Yates. And it was an hour and 30-minute match. It was super long, and tons of people kept coming over and like, who the heck are these dummies? Why are Matt and Kyle struggling here? We were up a game. We were in the third game, and we were up 10-6 with match points. And we had a long rally, and Matt was in front of me, and he spit up at me. I counted, and I hit his hand, and I could see the spin. It was kind of one of those like slow motion spins, but I tried to Ernie, And the minute I ernied, I sort of spin, and all I could see is, oh shoot, that thing is flying off my paddle. And I missed an easy match point ernie by about, I don't know, 2 inches in the back corner. And yeah, that's exactly what he's talking about because he still talks about that today.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a rough one, but it was a third tournament, and the amount of well, I got a lot of trash talk about that. People had no idea who we were. Like for example, Simone. I'd never met Simone. I've heard her name, but I'd never met her before, and she walked. She was standing there with, I think she was standing with Matt. I can't remember. She was standing with somebody, and I was talking to, and she walks up and she goes, "Hey, do you know somebody that missed an Ernie overhead or Ernie against Matt Wright on match point?" And I wanted to say, "Who the f are you? I don't
Right.
even like what?" And I just started laughing. I said, "Yeah, I do." And so, who are you?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, that favorite memory. Um, there's many, and they do have a lot to do with him, obviously, because we share all the memories together. Um, Probably the most fun tournament match that, for me, that we had was the Arizona PPA this year. Um, you know, we played really well. Again, we had. I guess at least at that point it was one of the if not the most watched gold medal match
Mhm.
against the John brothers, and um, again we had 3 match points and we found a way to screw it up. And But that was just fun overall. That whole day, that whole week, it was just fun um, to play. We played well. And we just had a lot of fun in that match. I mean, we were bummed that we didn't win, but none of us walked off the court upset really or
Right.
heads down. We still, we put it together finally, for the first time in one of these big ones. And yeah, we had a great match against them, and um, we did win the peg count in that match, so that's a big one. Jocelyn got Colin. Poor Colin, the poor guy. He always gets hit when we play him.
Yeah.
And Yeah, no, it was fun. That was one of my most fun memories. It often has to do with nonsense that we do. I mean, we don't take each other that serious. As you can tell, we always joke, we mess with each other nonstop. So this, if it's not him trying to push me off stands or mess with me or try to embarrass me, which doesn't work. um, it's vice versa. And yeah, so the overall last year and a half has been a lot of fun, and there's so many different memories. So it's hard. Our first biggest win, I think, was at the PPA last year in Newport, and that was second round against Riley and Tyson. Um, and people really didn't even still know who we really were at that point, especially coming back after COVID, that being the first tournament back after COVID.
Yeah.
So yeah, but for me personally, probably the overall as a tournament, the Arizona PPA this year was was very fun.
That's great. Well, good questions from Jocelyn. Obviously, you guys, you can tell
No,
you
don't give him
have a good.
credit. Do not give him credit.
All right. I
He
won't.
he almost forgot to do it at the last second. He doesn't deserve a phone. He never responds. I'm telling you, I'm turning gray because of that knucklehead.
That's funny. Yeah, it's true though. I did have to remind him, but that's all right. He came through. He came through, and that's all that counts. Or that's all that matters.
Yet you probably told him you're not going to have him on the show again if he doesn't do it.
I had to threaten him. Webby,
Yeah.
what's going on in social media?
We got a couple good questions here. Here's one from Ross Thalen, and Ross says, "Do you have a favorite type of game you like to do to drill?"
Honestly, this sounds bad, but I really barely ever drill. I think I've drilled a two handful of time. Yeah, I wish I had more time to play more, honestly.
How often do you play with your
But
job and everything?
I played once this week until arriving today here in Cincinnati. Um, Usually maybe once a week, maybe twice. It just depends. It really depends on the week, um, and who's available to play. Before tournaments, often we get together, and Matt and Lucy, and at least play once before we leave. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna usually a super early morning, like a 5:45 a.m. before work. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna probably play a Tuesday or Wednesday next week before we all leave for Atlanta on Friday. But drilling, I mean, I generally just go through the basics. I mean, you dink all directions. Um, if Joss and we've drilled a handful of times maybe, and we don't work on certain things tactically between us, and we just want to drill. We often, we dink, and you have to at least dink, I think, three or five before you can attack,
Hmm.
um, and speed it up. Very simple. Um, I love to. It's no secret. I like fast-paced hand exchanges. That's probably my favorite thing out of all. It's probably one of my strengths too. I do enjoy that when we go heads up on that. He generally starts to feed a lot harder these days. He tries to shoot me right off the feet if we ever do it. Um, but what else do we? Other than that, we don't. We we play more than we play games more than actually drill. Honestly,
Yeah.
I wish I would give a better answer. This sounds like a cop out, but it's not. It's the truth.
No, I think it's good to hear your rationale. Webby, I'm kind of bummed because since I play 3, 4, 5 times a week, you think I'd be even close to Pat's level, considering he plays once or twice. But we're still quite, different in our skill set. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would definitely agree. But I like hearing I like hearing you say that, Pat, because like I'm in the same situation. Like I don't have much time to play, so I like when I do play, I'd rather actually play a game than drill. I mean, maybe that's why I'm falling behind in my skill progression, but I don't care. I want to have fun with my limited time on the court, so I'm going to play rather than
I
drill.
think
But
another,
I mean,
yeah, I think another thing for like when Josh and I do get to play, we actually don't even play that much together, honestly. I mean, there was a time where I can't remember the last time we actually stepped on the court. Maybe once in the last 6 weeks together outside of tournaments. Um, but when because of the amount of time that I have for this, so when I do get to practice, I want to really focus and go full ball. I don't mess around. Where he's French and he's a little more laissez-faire and he's a little more of a space cadet, all over the place. And he's a tournament player. Like he's a different kind of player when he in practice than he is in tournaments. 100%. He tries he gives everything during a tournament, but in practice, he goes for even dumber stuff. He messes around. There's more tweeners. You know, there's
All
all
right.
kinds of stuff, which keeps it fun too. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
if there's only X amount of hours that we can play, I'd rather just focus and get 2 hours done. And
Mhm.
yeah,
All right, great
but I'm also
question.
a more mature one, and he's not.
Nice. This is a great question. I'm very interested to hear your answer on. This is from Sarah Aiken, and Sarah says, "If Jay teamed with Ben in men's doubles, who would you, Pat, choose as a partner to beat them?"
That's a good one. Ooh,
Very
that's a
good
really good
one.
one.
Yeah.
Um, Anyone
Yeah.
Ooh, anyone.
except Dave Weinbach, because those two cannot stop jaw jacking at each other and making jokes. So Yeah, no. Unless they both wear muzzle, then I would even play with Dave Weinbach.
All right. That's great.
And I love Dave. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
they count their errors. They make sure they both understand how many errors the other person made,
Oh, that's funny.
rather than the good points they had.
During the match, they do
I
that?
don't know. When we practice, just little rec
Oh,
games.
gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Who I? That's a tough one. Yeah, I mean, anyone. I'll take that challenge. Anyone. I mean, no matter who you pick, it's not about Jocelyn. It's about Ben.
Hmm.
In this to get the W. So yeah, good question. Really good question. I read. Actually, I don't think I could single somebody out.
Okay. Well,
Maybe go with Matt. I don't know. I never played with Tyson O'Reilly. Even the rec games, I don't think I've ever played with him. So it might be fun.
all right.
Um, yeah,
Good question, though.
that's a great
Sounds like,
question.
yeah. Sounds like you have a bunch of
I had
options, which is cool.
way much
Yeah.
thinking. Way
Yeah.
much too much thinking there. I'm gonna be thinking
That's
about this
good.
for a while now. I know
Well, I
that
was
for
gonna
sure.
say with you and Jay, you need to do twice the amount of thinking, so that way it evens out between you two. So, right.
Very true.
Oh, enough picking on Jay. Speaking of partners, though, so
Oh,
you
he's
are.
fine. He picks on me all the time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm not worried about him.
Yeah.
You're in Cincinnati now for the Cincinnati Open, and you're playing with Lauren Stratman tomorrow, right?
Yes, Lauren tomorrow, then and then Jocelyn on Saturday,
On Saturday. Okay.
and
Yeah,
then
tomorrow's
fly
Friday.
home Sunday because I'm not stupid enough to play singles
No, at all, or just not at
brings
this event.
at all. I've never even played a pro singles event, and honestly, it's at the beginning when I first started playing, it was more time.
Yeah.
It's I want to try and see if I can get in at least half a day before a tournament just to hit a few balls and get used to the conditions and the ball and yada yada yada. But at the beginning, it was always on a Thursday, and I can't leave every week on a Wednesday.
Right.
I mean, I got to keep my job. That's the most important thing. It's one thing if I come in Thursday night after work, something for example, um, and take a day off, or and luckily I can work from a lot of the times I can work from almost anywhere,
Hmm.
unless I have meetings, which I try to schedule all the way in the front during tournament week anyway, front of the week, um, and then fly back Sunday or first thing Monday, go straight to the office. So glad it's on the weekend.
Yeah.
And singles is a different animal. Singles is at that level, it's a different animal. That one's a young man's game, and if I was Jay's age, 10 years younger, I would consider.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to
He's
ask
heavy
you. Is it?
enough. He's heavy enough, and my back's sore enough already.
Well, I was going to say you got to carry him, and then to also play singles on top of that would be challenging. Is that
Yeah.
really what it is? Is it a time and energy thing where it's like you only have a certain number of hours that you can dedicate your life towards pickleball? So if something has to go, it is singles. Is that more of it, or is it really just you don't want to put your body through what you know you have to in order to succeed in singles?
I would only do it if I specifically train for it. Because
Yeah.
I know it requires a little bit more than you know. li- I mean, for me, it would require a lot more preparation now that at my age now, to not get hurt first of all.
Right.
And it is tricky. I mean, singles is definitely tough in these long days with mixed or men's doubles alone. They can be pretty gruesome. And singles is just amplified. I would guess. I
Mhm.
can see Jocelyn getting tired. Ben seems to never get tired, but he doesn't really move at all. But other guys are dying out there. Um, but the main thing is honestly just the time.
Yeah.
The work.
Sure.
If pickleball was my full-time gig, I would probably play some singles tournaments just to see and have some, just to go for it.
I like it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's smart. So tournament schedules for the rest of 2021. I can't believe we're already over a third of the way through 2021. It seems like we were just celebrating New Year's. And obviously with, COVID and where we are, there's a lot of tournaments coming up in 2021. How many more tournaments do you have for this year?
What are we, May now? So this one, then it's Atlanta next week. I think there's 2, 3. I want to say 12 to 15,
Wow.
maybe. I mean, it's a bunch still, and I I committed to a lot of things, and I'm a guy. When I commit, I don't really decommit, so I don't want to screw anybody really, unless I double booked something, an event or something in my life that and there's a pickleball tournament there, but yeah, I didn't think about how many tournaments I actually committed to, honestly, at the beginning of the year. And but I mean, it gets me out of Wichita for the weekends, and I enjoy doing it. And I get to meet great people. I get to do this, and be on the Eddie and Webby show, watch Eddie and Webby kick Jocelyn's ass on a 2-on-1 in at the Beer City Open.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
coach you.
Oh, for real?
Yes,
Absolutely.
please.
He's not
Yes,
gonna win. He's not gonna win that.
Yes.
You kidding me?
Oh, I'm so excited about this. We got Webby. How excited are you now that we know that we have one hell of a good coach in our corner that knows
Oh,
Jocelyn's
man.
game inside and out, right?
Right? Oh, man. Like, yeah, just my confidence just boosted big time.
Yep.
Like, we got this. We
Just
got this.
dangle a little bit of cheese and wine behind you. I'm going to dangle a little bit of cheese and wine behind you, and his French genes will go crazy.
Nice.
I love it. I love it. That's good stuff. Well, yes, I'm
Yeah,
excited.
but there's still a few. There's still a bunch.
Yeah. There's a ton of tournaments coming up. I'm excited for, obviously, Cincinnati this weekend. You mentioned Atlanta. Couple more, Beer City Open in July, which Webby and I will be at. And then that starts the end of summer fall series, which it seems like there's a tournament every other week.
Yeah, September's going to be crazy. I mean, I think there's like 3 PPAs in September, and then first week in October, I think the last day of September, and the first few days of October is Texas. So there's like that month is just nuts, which is my birthday month, and yeah, that'll be a nice, it'll be a fun one to be gone.
Yeah. Oh, I think Pat's breaking up again. Hopefully it'll just be quick like it was
No, I
last
mean,
time.
I enjoy doing it. I wouldn't do it if.
Yeah. All right, there we go. You're back. All right, go ahead and answer that one more time. You were talking about you say it was your birthday month, and then there were tournaments going
September.
on? September.
Yeah, there's 4. I think there's 3 or 4 PPA tournaments in September, and so that'll be a busy month. But again, if I wouldn't enjoy it, just like what you said, if I didn't enjoy doing this, I wouldn't do it.
Okay.
I'm in this for the fun, and believe me, I'm the last person that wants to lose, and I hate losing more than I love winning. But I'll pout for about 10 minutes after the last match, and then there's nothing but smiles, and there's always a beer waiting.
Yeah. That's a good attitude to have.
Exactly.
So I have one more question from me here tonight before we go on to pick our winner of questions from the audience. And that's like, what if you were to, it's New Year's Eve, 2021. You're reminiscing on the year, and you're looking back at all the great things you did in pickleball. What are you going to define as a successful 2021?
That might not have anything to do with pickleball per se. That's if I take pickleball aside, being able to being during COVID, being able to travel. My parents, they just now ended the second lockdown back home. So, either in Germany or England or France, I mean, they were just, miserable, US over here, we're acting like nothing ever happened, you know, and then from state to state, it's different. When we spoke off stream earlier, I don't feel like there was ever COVID in Florida. You know, I don't think there was no COVID in Florida ever. For New Year's, no. Before that, no. All year long, definitely no COVID with all the tournaments going on there. Um, so a successful 2021 would be, you know,
Oh, it's happening again.
For those unaware, Pat does a great impression of somebody who's losing their
people around
internet
us,
connection.
families and everybody. Oh.
Oh,
I'm good at
yeah.
No,
All
I
right.
said what I was saying is that successful 2021 doesn't necessarily have anything to do with pickleball for me per se. Being able to travel again. My number one priority is being able to go home and see my family. You know, I haven't been able to go home and see them um, in 2.5 years. I was supposed to go home last year and I couldn't because of COVID. So that would definitely make a successful 2021. Being healthy. Um, and hopefully having this being able to put COVID behind us for everybody involved, and really um, live fear free, I guess, or worry free when it comes to that. Um, that would be a successful 2021 after what everybody had to go through. So, um, and I think we're on a good way for that. You know, as for pickleball. Um, I don't know. Maybe not giving up a lead against the Johns. I don't know. Because like I said, we're clearly good at that.
All right. I think that's a good goal. We'll follow up with you on January 1st to make sure that you were able to accomplish that.
Yeah, hopefully that'd be good.
Yeah.
Or
Well,
maybe my parents can come to a tournament. You know, you never know.
yeah. Have they been to any pickleball events at all?
No, no, they've only ever been to Chicken and Pickle and watched it when I started playing, just for fun practicing. But they've never been to a tournament. And I think if they would have seen the US Open, there would have been, pickleball I mean, you can't do anything when you first hear about it and laugh at the
Right.
name. It's a bit of a comical name if you don't know anything about it, or have never played it. But I think if anybody that goes to the US Open is going to be shell shocked. I mean, it's going to be mind blown.
Yeah.
I was my first US Open a couple of weeks ago, and I mean, it definitely was pretty darn amazing to see.
Mhm.
I have to say. I mean, that was pretty remarkable. And I've never been to nationals either, so I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen there.
Yeah. I mean, they're obviously two incredible events that really showcase not even the pro players, but the party and the culture that is behind pickleball, which is what I love as well.
Well, the energy that you could feel on the ground at the US Open was just amazing. The amount of people that were there and just loving it, loving being out there playing, watching, just enjoying life, um, and being out there and doing something, worry free and it's something they love. I mean, it was just really amazing to see, and the amount of people that were there, I was just stunned,
Thousands of
absolutely
people.
stunned. But again, no COVID in Florida.
Nope.
Yeah, that doesn't exist down there. It
Nope.
just does not exist
Nope.
in Florida.
Doesn't exist.
Nope.
That's funny. Well, Webby, do we have a reveal of who the winner of the Neptune shirt is yet?
Oh man, we do, but I've got to be honest, it was not an easy decision to pick a winner today because we had a bunch of great questions, but I picked today's winner for numerous reasons. She has been tuned in since the very beginning. She was the first person to ask a question. She
It's
is a
Sarah Aiken,
first-time
isn't it?
viewer. It's not. Nope, it is not. She's a first-time viewer, the first time ever tuning into the show, and she asked numerous great questions that we didn't have time to get to. We got to one of them towards the beginning. But she also left this very nice comment recently, and I'm going to put that up on the screen if it lets me. Here we go. And Renee Jacox, hopefully I said that right, but Renee, you are the winner. And Renee said, Pat, thank you for doing this interview. This has been a highlight to my day. So Renee, congratulations. She asked a bunch of great questions. I only got to the first one. She asked you like what suggestions you have for people that are just getting into pickleball, but she also asked a bunch of other great questions. And then how could we not pick her with that amazing last comment of the show? I mean, come on. Congratulations,
That's
Renee.
very true. Well,
so yeah, Renee, reach out to us on Facebook.
Since a lady, we might be able to get, I said, since a lady, if she doesn't want this one, we might be able to get a female version of this too. I'm sure I can finagle that. I'll send her a message and figure out size and everything.
For sure. Yeah, just send us your contact information, Renee, on Facebook, and we will get that to you. Congratulations.
Yes. Congratulations, Renee. Thank you again for tuning in. Glad you joined us tonight, and hopefully you'll join us for more episodes in the future as well. And let us know if you guys like these giveaways. Do you like them? Do you not? Let us know. Throw it down in the comments. Because I think they're fun.
I don't think anybody would say no.
No. Especially
right.
not to
It's tough to say no for free stuff.
Right.
Exactly.
People love free stuff, especially when it's good stuff, like a shirt like that.
Well, we saw how desperate Jay was to win that shirt. Like he submitted a bunch of questions too, and he pretty much demanded that he win the shirt, but Pat disqualified him, so he was not eligible to win tonight. So sorry, Jay.
Out.
Nope. Good stuff. Well, Pat, this has been a lot of fun. Usually what we like to be able to do is give all of our guests an opportunity to talk about sponsors, how people can follow you on the pickleball journey, anything like that. So this is your time to shine here.
Well, it's obviously known that I'm sponsored by Electrum. I play with Electrum Pro paddle, and just recently, same with Neptune, which the clothing is absolutely amazing. So anybody that sees me or has the chance to get something or buy it, I mean, the clothing are really amazing. They're a tennis brand actually, not a real pickleball brand. They're on the WTA and ATP tour out of Orlando, Florida. So it's a US based company, and they make absolutely amazing and super comfortable clothes and really good looking too, and not boring. So you can't credit Patrick and Sam and Joe behind the company enough, or can't tip my hat to them enough. But they've been absolutely wonderful. And then also BRD. It's actually it works well with my ankle being a little bummed, or having history there. So I wear my ankle brace with BRD, and also a little bit of wrist support. And their stuff's great too. So if you ever have any issues, ankles, knees, wrists, shoulders, check them out on their Facebook page, on their website.
I can attest. I'm not sponsored by them, but I'm pretty much a BRD fanboy. I wear the wrist support, I wear the knee support, and I wear the ankle support. I'm pretty much a very old man, so I wear as much support as I can on all parts of my body, and I can attest they make very good products.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good and comfortable.
That's good. Well, Pat, this has been awesome.
That's all I have.
Yes. No, that's good though, man. I mean, you've got some great sponsors, and what's great is obviously you can tell that you believe in the products too. And I've been checking out this Neptune Athletics website, and I'm telling you what, man, I'm going to go on here and buy some stuff because it does. It looks like it's very comfortable, very good looking apparel, and I'm excited to get some Neptune to wear out on the court.
Absolutely, you should go for it.
Cool.
I think the sizes are pretty true too.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
So they have middle-aged fat guy size, because that's what
extra small.
Yeah, exactly. I go for a schmedium. That's usually my thing.
You can get a crop top if you go to the female section.
That's right. I'll do it up. Get some yoga pants and a
I
cup.
need,
I mean,
yeah.
if Zeke Elliott can do it from the Cowboys, then you can do it too on the pickleball court.
I'm gonna go for that. It's a good look. Cool, Pat. Well, again, thanks so much for jumping on tonight, Pat. It was awesome getting to know you a little better. I'm excited that we're gonna get to see you at some upcoming tournaments this year. I'm sure you'll be all over the live stream this weekend in Cincinnati and Atlanta and all those tournaments. So thank you again. We love what you're doing for the sport. And any closing thoughts you want to leave the thousands of people watching right now with?
Just have fun and don't believe a word Jocelyn says.
I like it. I'm going to get that tattooed on my arm. Just have fun. Don't believe a word that Jocelyn says.
Or discount it by 50% because 50% is maybe the truth. The other stuff is absolute nonsense.
Nice.
That's classic. Awesome, Pat. Good luck tomorrow in mixed. And
Thank you.
Thank you again, man. We'll be talking to you soon, okay?
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks. See ya.
See ya. Bye.
Oh man, that was awesome. He's such a fun guy, such a great guy. This was the very fun episode.
Yeah, it's funny because I got to know him a little bit outside of pickleball at this like Mexican restaurant in Punta Gorda that turns into a bar at like 10 o'clock at night. But that was it. All my other interactions with him are really from pickleball perspective. And, you know, he's such a funny guy and he's such a nice guy. But I think it's one of those things that we see happen a lot with pros where when you see them out of the court, they're really intense or they're loud or they're aggressive. And then you get them off the court and they're just super fun to be able to hang out with. And I think Pat's another great example of that.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Another great person in the sport of pickleball. One of the many reasons why pickleball, especially pro pickleball, is so awesome because of great players like Pat. And I love the team of Jay and Pat. They're so much fun to watch. And you can tell they're just great friends off the court, on and off the court. It's just, I love it. I love stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited to see Neptune getting into the pickleball world. I mean it. Their website is great. I'm excited to check out some of their products. And you know, we're not sponsored by them. We don't. There's no incentive for us to plug them, except for the fact that I'm excited that we have another brand that's putting money into pickleball. So check out Neptune
for sure.
Athletics along with BRD.
Yeah, and that shirt.
Yeah.
Yep, BRD, Neptune, and that shirt that he gave away, man, that was sweet looking. I loved it. Like that was just a really, really nice look. And he was telling us before the show that it's like one of the most comfortable shirts that he's ever put on. Like the material they use to make them is super comfortable. So I'm all about a good, comfortable, soft shirt. So
that's right. Good, comfortable, soft shirts. This has been a blast. Webby, is there any closing thoughts you want to leave? Again, the thousands of people that are tuned in right now with.
Not too much other than you're going to want to tune in next week because we're at least going to do a dinking around with Eddie and Webby, but there is a chance that we are going to have an epic guest on the show. I know Eddie hates doing teasers like this, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
It's
but
so annoying.
There's a chance that the next episode is going to have an absolutely epic guest that is most well known outside of the world of pickleball. So that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
We still
think
have
about
to
what you're saying. We may or may not have a guest next week that's well known outside of the world of pickleball.
Right.
Great tease.
We're either going to have an amazing guest or no guest at all. So tune in. Those are the options.
It's either going to be awesome or it's going to be us two knuckleheads talking to you guys. So you definitely want to tune in because they're both going to be sweet. We promise.
Right. No, I think there's at least 5 people out there that like when we do shows, just you and I, the Dinking Around shows. We have Dinking Around has a decent following, a handful of people that like the show.
Yep. Yeah, 5, maybe 6.
No, it'll be fun regardless. Tune in next week. It'll be fun regardless of what happens.
Yep, we got a lot of cool stuff going on, a lot of great videos that are going to be coming up, and I'm excited. We have 2021 is going to be a fun year. As we mentioned, the summer might be a little weird with traveling and a lot of other commitments or whatnot. I don't know how many podcasts we're going to get in, but we definitely want to keep this going as long as possible. And Webby, this has been this is episode 87, which means there's still 87 of you out there watching right now. And you know what? We appreciate you very much, don't we, Webby?
We do very much more than you could possibly ever know.
That's right. And on that note, I'm Eddie.
And until next time, this is Webby, not Eddie, signing off.
See ya.